Welcome back to our second part of the 12 principles of design. So I will go right into talking about the seventh principle, which is rhythm. From the other day's video, I emphasized that repetition and rhythm go together. This is because both involve the use of spacing between elements or even repetition of those elements in order to create what we can call a rhythm. Like in the case of a song, it has different elements, but at the end of the day there is a repetition which will then cause a rhythm. So spacing between elements can create rhythm, and it creates a variety of emotions. In the case that the rhythm, for example, like when we talk about variety of emotions, in the case of a regular rhythm, like a regular slow rhythm, it will send that feeling of calmness, right? And then if we have like an irregular rhythm, like upbeat and whatnot, the it will send the notion of excitement. Yeah, so the essence of rhythm is to the same way we have different songs and there are different rhythms and genres. Like a certain rhythm will make you feel a certain way. We have lo-fi music that sort of calms people. We have upbeat music, we have rock music, we have gospel music, all those things, all those types of music um helps us feel a certain type, like ignites a certain feeling in us, a certain emotion. So it's the same thing with design. You create a rhythm in order to um send a particular message. Is it do you want to send the message of, oh, this is a calm, it has a calm feel to it? Or maybe let's say for example you're creating a poster or for an outing, an event. You would want people to get that feeling of excitement because you want people to be eager to attend that event because of how exciting the poster is through the rhythm of the poster. And then if it's just something laid back, you want something just like an advertisement for a business. Maybe you are more into feminine things, feminine products, you're selling feminine products, you'd want to give a more calm vibe, right? Yes, so that's what rhythm is all about. So in this picture you see there's this rhythm. It's giving modern because there's the use of abstract objects like the triangles, which are being merged together. Like, you know that the main element is a triangle, but then they're being merged together in a way that it's giving that modern feel to the poster. And then you can even see from the bold text, it's saying welcome to the modern internet. So they have been able to create that feeling of modern, of being modern, by the use of the geometrics, like geometrical shapes, right? Yeah. Then the eighth principle is pattern. So these things marry into each other: repetition, rhythm, and pattern. So pattern is just repetition of design elements. Like you'd want to, and the aim of repetition of these elements is to create texture, at the same time create interest, and also create rhythm. So rhythm, repetition, pattern, they can be used interchangeably, but then they have subtle differences. Yeah, but at this point, the only thing you should know is that repetition, rhythm, and pattern are synonymous, so to speak. So pattern, repetition of design elements in order to just set standards and give a texture to what you want to talk about what your poster is all about at the end of the day. And then you see, like most anyway let me not start diverting. Yeah, so we have this picture which is showing this dot pattern. Like, you'd see that there are dots everywhere, so it's like part of the design of the picture. It has added, like, it's just, if imagine if there were no dots, like, for the pattern. Imagine if it was just a black background, it would be dull. The poster would be dull. But then with the implementation of pattern and as a principle, you have seen that it has added a little bit more texture to the poster, or to the image in this case. Yeah, so then we can move on to talk about white space. So white space is you can compare it to silence in music. I don't know, I'm just using music as an example a lot because I like music. I really love music. So silence is equals to white space. Like there are moments, points in music where you, like, there's just silence, right? There are those songs where there's just like an element of silence, like it's not upbeat. Even like at the beginning of the song or at the end of the song, there's that bit of silence that just has to be implemented in order to not allow the song feel crowded or feel compacted or feel like it's too busy, right? Yeah, same applies with white space. So white space does not necessarily mean having white space, like space that's colored white on your poster. It can be any other color as long as it's giving the poster breathing space. So without white space, a design is clustered and noisy and makes it difficult to communicate or be effective. So the importance of white space is that you may have a lot of elements in your posters design, in your images, but there's need for white space to just balance that out a bit. No, no, not even a bit. It does a lot of work. White space does a lot of work. Like it just balances out the thing entirely. So you have a picture there. You see that this picture has a lot of white space. There's not nothing much going on, but then because of the white space, it has just given a sense of balance. Like it's now easier to even communicate what this looks like a web interface. So what the web interface is talking about. So with white space, it plays an important role in making sure that the poster is not crowded. And in the case that maybe you forgot to add, like when you create a poster and then maybe you forgot to add a particular important information, you do not have to like restart everything, like restart organizing everything. But then with the essence of white space, it's giving you space to add whatever you want to add in the case that you forgot it at the time. So that's the essence of white space. Then we move to movement. Movement is the way a person's eye travels over a design. So this can marry to hierarchy. Yeah, so you see these things are interchangeable. So it marries to hierarchy as well. So it works with how your eye moves along a design. So there'll be a part that will call for your attention, and then you will follow through with everything else as it goes. So it also gives that, it also adds on texture, and it can be done through positioning, emphasis, and other design principles, just like the hierarchy. So the way you position a thing or an object, a shape, and any element in your in your design will also speak to its movement, right? Yeah, then we'll move on to talk to about variety. So variety is just using the same elements. Like when it comes to variety, when I talk about, if I hope I get to have chance to talk about typography and all. So there are rules to typography that have to be followed. Typography is the use of text in design. So when it comes to typography, we have rules of how many fonts you can use in one poster, which fonts go where, which fonts are suited for what kind of poster. So with variety, that's where all this comes in. It creates a visual interest in a design. So it can be done by typography, color, images, textures, and other design elements, and also prevents monotony. So it prevents a poster or an image or a design from looking from looking down. Let me just say, from looking down, imagine you just use one kind of text. Imagine it's like a food poster, right? You're trying to advertise like your new restaurant, a new thing, a new food for a certain restaurant, and then you just put it on a blank thing. Like there's so much white space, you've only used one text, you've only used one color. Sometimes I know there's that boldness of like a skilled designer or whoever wanting to take that approach and just be like stand out, but then it's not as effective. It's not very effective most of the time. If you don't know how to execute it, it will end up not sending the right message, and it might be just ignored. Like you won't leave the mark that you want to leave in people's minds, right? Yeah, so variety calls for, it just creates that visual interest as well. Then we have this photo here uh of this combination of color, text. You see that they've used two different types of fonts. So there's the bold one, and also that it looks like a sans serif. Yeah, this is a sans serif, and they are of different weights, like the sizes are different. Then there's implementation of colors that work together, not just any colors. Like you can see that these colors are working together: the blue, the different shades of blue, the oranges, the pink, the cream white. Like they're all working together to bring that form of to bring interest to the picture, to the image, without causing confusion. Yeah. And then the last thing is unity. So at the end of the day, all these elements, when all these principles, when put to work with the elements, they have to produce something of unity. Your poster, your image has to look unified. It does not have to give that essence of one part of the poster looks one part of the image or poster looks different, like looks isolated from the other. So designers use unity to make elements in a composition appear to belong together. So when each element has a clear visual relationship to one or more other elements, the composition is unified. So you will see that at the end of the day, the way have been talking about how other principles marry into each other. At the end of the day, your design has to be unified. It has to be put together. It has to be well put. It has to be unified. It has to give that thing of, oh, even though they've used this text is marrying to this object that they've put. This object is marrying to this shape. Like everything looks unified. Like in this image of blue, like you see, it's just giving that there's use of shape, there's use of text, there's use of pictures, there's use of transparency, but at the end of the day, everything looks unified because they have obeyed the different principles that need to be obeyed. In conclusion, these principles of design work together to create something that is aesthetically pleasing and optimizes the user experience. So yeah, that's it. The principles of design. So when you have these at the back of your mind, when you if need be, read the notes again. If need be, watch this video again. If need be, go to YouTube and find a video that will explain these things better, because as we move on to next week, become more practical, as I'll be able to show you how you can open a Canva account, how you can use templates, how to navigate yourself around Canva. But then you still have to understand what the principles are, because there'll be exercises, there'll be some practices where you need to implement the principles as they are. So I hope you found this informative. I hope you found this fun, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye.